of itself. It writes itself dead easy for us. So drop a stream marker. Hello friends, let's take a look at Anchor together. ANKR USDT, Anchor versus the US dollar Tether. What we're looking at here is the 4-hour time frame and asking, in the face of this DMI, which has had this negative cross, which has not crossed again positively while we've had the chop coming down here, are we, is this expression of this bull flag going to ultimately turn positive for us and us work our way towards the top side, or will we drop down towards the 200 simple? I want to draw on a couple of key areas for us and point out a couple of things as we take a look at the charts here together, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining me. My name's Rocky Outcrop. This is, of course, Anchor USDT. Here's the intro clips. Yay! Like and subscribe. Friend of yours, friend of mine, by the way, so sharing the video, mucho appreciated. Back in the charts, seeing this movement between these two zones, going to have to point out that this is the key area for us to not be breaking down below in terms of diagonal lines and this flag. We could, of course, range down as far as the 135. We're at 150 at the minute, so you don't want to see that, obviously, naturally, but if we go past that, then I think the chances of us getting continuation on the way down towards 87. This is a logarithmic chart, so what we're looking at here is me saying that if we go down just 20%, which is ridiculous, I'd hope to see a bounce, because if we don't, we could be going down a further 30. So despite the fact they look the same there, that's the warning that I'm trying to give here. But this is, of course, your best buy area. We can see that from the broader point of view that maybe this is a little bit kind of broad overall in terms of the structure of this flag for us. Have we actually started to consolidate a little bit sideways here? And this is 24-hour time frame. We can see that we're up here. We're doing very, very well. We've come up and we've managed to do the vast majority of this move without divergence. We've not put in divergence after divergence after divergence. You could still make the case that while there is divergence, sure, on these oscillators down below, that we're still in an overall positive trend. But the ADX is sloping towards the downside, and we've had this bull flag on the go so far. But is this actually a descending triangle? And could we even see a movement like this without actually even really having to really break anything particular in terms of the volume, etc., and just start to continue to rise up the way thereafter and then go in for the move? Maybe we could. Is there a tradable move off the back of that in and of itself? Yes, despite the fact that this doesn't look very big. You're still looking at a 38% move towards the top side, so that's insane in terms of the amount of profits you could take. So you can see here that, of course, overall what we're really zoomed in and focusing on in terms of this bull flag here, it's really asking about whether or not we can continue this massive upward trend. If we did actually drop down towards these areas, in terms of people who got in really, really low down, you're still looking at staying above the 236 and the overall bullish trend continuing. Bullish, cross, was it ever? A year ago, 25th of May, 2020, and we've still moved towards the top side, miles away from all these moving averages. But you can see the 50 coming up towards where the 236 is, and this is one of these heavily trending markets. Like I spoke about this a few times in the past, what I'm going to do is keep on tracking up the way with regards to this Fibonacci retracement, and all the time bearing in mind where the 236 and the 50 is, expecting the 50 to continually come up to where the 236 is, and then for occasionally that to get tested throughout these periods, as we can see having happened more or less in the just here and here. Yeah, great, cool. So positive on this, bullish on this one, so long as we can keep the smaller term time frame intact, and that's going to be shown here in terms of 24-hour. If I just add in these smaller moving averages for us, these exponentials, and just show you that they're all fanned out towards the top side, that if we do get the pullbacks that I'm talking about potentially happening, then we want to see support at that 135 area where we have the 18 period exponential moving average. That would be okay to visit. Beyond that, then I think we could cascade down towards that 236. This is, of course, pointing towards the top side, as they all are. Dropping down the way towards the 12-hour time frame, you can see still very good, but with a little slant down the way from the 8 period exponential moving average. Naturally enough, because we're in this descending triangle. 4-hour time frame, because we're extended so far into it now that this is getting towards crunch zone, and we're seeing a couple of crosses having happened, etc. And that's kind of converting the ribbon over the way, and if we did see a pull down to 135, that's not going to end the positivity. But if we see follow through, then of course, then from a moving average perspective, it would. So that's why we're looking for these to kind of start to turn towards the top side yet again. And on the hourly time frame, you're seeing that we had this death cross. We've already tested the 50, we've tested the 200. Now we're looking towards the downside, and if from a really small term time frame perspective, but here we have it from a, you know, the moving averages. If we want to see, you know, follow through from that death cross there to making new lows, then we're looking down to that 135 as a resolution of this cross. If we can't break up past it, in which case we might get a couple of things at once in terms of, you know, first off, profit taking happening at 170, but the potential to move on to that 180 side of things, and then eventually, of course, 196 thereafter with the target up the way 210. Yeah, good. I maybe doubled the length of that episode by accident, but there we have it. Thanks so much. Like, subscribe. Hope that was helpful.